Lorraine, please come home.
Lorraine? Are you alright? Huh? Eh? Huh? Yeah. I'm fine. Why do you ask? I don't know. It's just that lately you haven't really been yourself. The other girls have noticed too. You don't look too well. You seem very tired. Is there something troubling you? No, I'm fine, really. It's been just a long day, I guess. You know, if you're going through something, me and the girls can help you. I'm sorry, but remember, you're not alone here. Just come and talk to us. You know, I was thinking that maybe that moment when her voice circled my head, I looked at myself in the mirror. I brought my hand up to my cheek, brushing it softly with the tip of my trembling finger. How very dramatic of you. Something felt off, like a cheap, broken nail. Despite the layers of professional makeup, exhaustion etched lines on my face. My whole body felt numb, my lungs forcing air inside of them. The black circles under my eyes became harder to mask under the layers of thick, rigid foundation. Little wrinkles crept onto my face bit by bit. I had gained 3 kilograms over the past 3 months, though luckily it wasn't noticeable yet. But it didn't matter if others could tell. I could tell, and that was more than enough. It overwhelmed me, growing in my stomach more and more each day. I couldn't stop eating. I needed it. These 3 months had been so hard for me, and I was just so stressed, and I kept eating and eating, feeling miserable with each bite. But I didn't want to purge. I wasn't sick in the head. Wow, rude lady. I kept jogging and exercising only to eat again when I finished, which is what you're supposed to do. Food was the only thing that gave me warmth when I needed it most. But I couldn't go on like this. I loved this job, being a model. It was the first time in years people had looked at me again with admiration, with smiles. I'd miss seeing people smile at me like that. I had been so alone up until I joined the modeling agency. I had finished architecture school, graduated from one of the hardest grade schools, but it wasn't for me. It was what my parents wished for me, not my choice. And thinking about how I was wasting my diploma by just walking and shaking my hips on a stage made me feel ashamed. But I loved modeling. I felt great doing it, and I had come so far. I was the it girl, the sex symbol of our times, and I didn't want to lose all of this. Not now. I was finally blooming and I didn't want to rot again like I had back then. I had suffered enough, goddammit. I couldn't allow myself to get worked up again by nonsense. I was no longer like that. I was Lorraine. I had to deliver the show everyone was waiting for. I wanted to keep seeing my face in the magazines. I finally felt so pretty, so confident in my body, and I didn't want to lose it. Lorraine, are you listening? As much as I tried to listen to her words, they just passed through me like slim piercing needles, drilling my body, twitching my heart with their pitched noises. I hated loud noises, but it wasn't her voice triggering me. Lately, bells kept ringing in my ears ever since that phone call. When I heard its ringing tone and saw parents on the small rusty screen, my whole body froze, my hand softening its grip on the phone, dropping it to the floor and shattering it. A few hours later, I found myself in an empty, white, swollen room, lying on a bed with a nurse next to me. I had fainted. I missed them so much. But I promised myself to forget everything that happened. I got home in my apartment, and I sat at my table. Sitting across from me was a brown, tiny teddy bear wrapped with old memories of me holding him when I was 8. His name is Popo. Mr. Popo watched me as I leaked tears into my mug. I was drinking milk. I left the fridge open with peanut chocolate and dark mint one sitting on the first row, and on the bottom one there were 2 boxes of 5 macarons each. The lights were turned off, but on the table with me was a caramel-flavored candle lit up. I looked at my calendar pinned on the wall, admiring the nice beach view on the page of June. I've forgotten to turn the pages since June. When my parents called me, I don't even know if it was even them. Maybe I was just seeing things. When I think of it, I've never visited them. It's been almost 6 years. I went to open a drawer in one of the supply rooms, and I've taken out a box full of pictures and letters. Sitting on the top of the piled up papers was a letter addressed to me, Lorraine. I stayed inside for a few days after I read that letter, and I finally decided to go visit my parents after 6 years. But while I'm gone, what should I do with Popo? Leave Popo safe at home, or take Popo with you? Let's take Popo. Come on, Popo, we going for a ride. September 13th, 2005. A calming fog was wrapping the old yet nostalgic road. The air was bitter and the sun was nowhere to be seen. I was the only one out on the road that day, with a letter sitting on the passenger seat right next to me. Read it.
Dear Lorraine, this is my first letter to you. I've decided that from now on, I should write to you every now and then. This way, I can stand still in your memory, so you can see how far you've reached. Personally, I'm not so fond of the name Lorraine, but I think it suits you better. I hope you'll be keeping these letters, and that they'll find you well. You'll probably move to the big city. I know you have great plans for the future. I wish you the best of luck, but please don't forget about your home, and about me. Mom and Dad will always be here for you, so you should come visit them once in a while. I'll be waiting here alongside them. Take care and strike for the best. Signed, Mary.
(1998) In the end, Lorraine wasn't such a bad name. Right now, I'd be ashamed to go by any other names. It's been 6 years since the accident. I don't want to be associated with it anymore. I'm sorry for your death, Mom and Dad. I'm sorry for what happened that day. And for not coming sooner to see you guys. I still love you, like I always have, but given the circumstances, I just couldn't bear to live in our town like that, especially with you two no longer being with me. I do miss my home, my friends, but most of all, I miss you. But right now, I couldn't be more relieved that I no longer lived there. Maybe it's too much to ask for forgiveness, but I hope I can still be your little daughter. I'm almost in front of the town's entrance. After that day, I was completely lost, but with time, I managed to gather myself up. I moved to the big city, I finished grad school, and I've also been hired by a modeling agency. I brought some magazines which feature me, and many other things I want to show you. My life has been amazing, and I would have liked to have you two witness my achievements, but that's why I'm coming to make you proud of me, just like I am. Whoa. As a person, I might have been strong, but as a human, I was weak. I've been suffering of phonophobia, which means I get triggered easily by any loud noises. Trust me, I was triggered by that noise too. Any high-pitched noise or sudden ones, it starts with a gap forming in my chest, and as it extends, I feel it piercing my entire body little by little. I wasn't sure what I've hit, but that impact was strong enough to stop the whole car. Ah, my head. What the heck was that? Whoa, what is that? As soon as I regained consciousness, a gruesome smell filled my lungs. A rotting, decaying smell, like a rat's insides merging with the wooden floor. You got an imagination on you, girl. You've been smelling some stuff in your time. What do they do at these model parties? What is this smell? I removed my seatbelt and made my way out of the car. I took the letter, or I left it in the car. I took the letter. I don't know why, but I took it. My stomach started rolling and nodding itself. And then, I think they mean nodding, as in being tied up. Alright, girl, you do all that. The rusty liquid was burning my throat as it was fleeing the stomach. Ugh, it smells like a corpse in here. I walked further from the car, which now had its front sides completely crashed. After I distanced myself a few meters away, I took a look at my surroundings. The town shouldn't be too far away from here. I looked back at the car. God damn it, now my car is broken too? As if I didn't have other things to care about. What am I supposed to do now? I need someone to pick it up. I don't even know what the hell I've hit. There was something standing in my way. Was it the power pole? Whatever. As I picked up my flip phone, I noticed there was no signal. No signal. But I'm standing right in the area. Whatever. I know for sure there was a signal tower somewhere here. Ugh, blast this damn phone. A few other tries to pick up at least one line of signal, I gave up. Well, like I said. Okay, this is actually kind of loud for me. I don't know how it is for you guys. Okay, we're gonna try that. The town isn't too far. I'll just go by foot. I started walking towards the town. In about half a kilometer, I arrived. Welcome to St. Bell Fields, the westernmost town. I arrived in town, and it was all so silent. I could only hear the road calling me to keep walking. There was no one out, but as expected with this weather. Alright, I've made it. God, it looks even more lifeless than I remember it. Okay, I can see that I'm gonna have to, like, make up some of the grammar here. And this fog is literally annoying me. I can't see shit. Hello? Anyone? I need some help, please. As I was walking, I noticed a piece of paper in the middle of the road. Alone. Because it should have been with somebody. What is this? It looks like some kind of letter. Yeah, sure, read it. It's in the middle of the street. That's my business now. Lorette, what?
I've made it. These past stressful months are finally over, and it was all worth it in the end. I've graduated, Lorraine.
Good for you.
I've got my diploma.
All right.
Almost perfect scores, but that's more than enough.
Yeah.
Per town, from what I know, I have the best scores, but it doesn't matter anymore.
Per the town? Is it a town full of idiots?
Now I'm only fighting to extend my own self.
Did you get a D and not an F?
I have nothing but the blue sky forward, waiting for me to paint stars all over it.
Yay.
I'm so happy. Not only that, but I'm done with driving school too.
Wow, college and driving school.
I'm a driver now.
Okay. You're really shooting for the stars with that diploma.
I can go to the city whenever I want to now. I can go shopping whenever and wherever I want.
Yeah?
I'm an adult. I'm finally standing on my own two legs.
You weren't before?
My parents won't
Was
need
it
to
four
push me
legs?
anymore. For now I stand by my own, shining over them. And I'm so proud and happy.
Okay.
I'm so grateful they've pressured and invested so much in me, because it's paying off in the end.
Sounded kind of miserable, but okay. I'm hearing some conflicting things here, sister.
They deserve everything. And I've made up my mind.
To burn down the town.
Even though it may not be my call, I'll pursue architecture.
Okay.
It's my gift of gratitude for my parents, and they know what's best for me.
Okay, so Lorraine's real name must be Mary, because she's got to be sending this to herself. So we're either looping or something.
I hope you'll remember this moment, Lorraine. All I've gone through was for you. I wish you all the best. Signed, Mary.
July 15th, 1998. This is from Mary. How extraordinary. Congrats. I'm happy to hear she's well. Are you... I'm convinced she is Mary. Lorraine is Mary. I'm convinced they're the same two people. But this letter is indeed outdated. What is it doing here on the ground? Oh, let's see. I took the letter. What if I just take everything? Where's that one auto service? If only there would be someone to ask. It feels so lonely here. Just like back in the old days. I just hope no one will recognize me. Oh my god, she got fat ego, bro. It was hard to even walk outside after the accident. Everyone here knows me. They all hate me. You just got here. You said you haven't been here in 6 years. Don't nobody know nothing about you? For them, I'm just a murderer. You murdered people? It wasn't an accident? The day of the accident didn't bring death just to my parents. As I was driving, I crashed into another car, and its driver, a middle-aged man, also died. I was free of charges, but that didn't hold people back from treating me like I was not to blame. Okay, so involuntary manslaughter. Slowly, I just isolated myself from everyone. Their piercing stares were tearing up my soul, and I was already enduring enough. That's right, Lorraine, because everything's about you, right? After walking for a while, I stood in the middle of the road, contemplating. The unmoving scenery drained my energy, and I wasn't sure where to go. Do I just go forward from now on? I'm not even sure if there's an auto service this way. It just made sense for there to be one. My memories of this town are so old, and there's no one... Why is there no one? Is it the weather? Maybe they knew I was coming. I wouldn't be surprised if they ran away just because of that. Oh my gosh, Lorraine. Even when Lorraine does bad, everybody knows about it. Everything's about Lorraine. People don't have daily lives to lead. They just know Lorraine's coming, so we may as well just give up. I feel so unwanted here. It's your ego that's not wanted. God damn it, why am I thinking of all of these again? For God's sakes, I'm just gonna try calling someone. 112 for emergencies. Yo, pick up the phone. I got an emergency, you see? Pick up the phone. Oh.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available. Please try again later.
Damn you, wireless customer.
El servicio móvil al que llama no se encuentra disponible. Favor de intentar más tarde. Message 1.
How dare you call me a bastardy?
LV.
What if I was attacked just now? To hell with your services. If I remember, I know there was a gas station nearby, and also a mini market. I hope I'm right this time. Maybe I should check those places, see if anyone's working. Okay, let's save. Let's go to the mini market. I continued to walk. The town was empty, at least at first glance, but with every step I took, I just felt like I was getting closer to something. Like a presence. I was alone, but I wasn't. Something was watching me. At least I have Popo with me. Hey, Popo? Is this the right way? I'm not scared. I'm just concerned. Oh god, I'm talking to a teddy bear. Well, at least he listens to me, right? A nostalgic warmth wrapped me as I began to hear old voices. Mother, is this really right for me? I mean, drawing these shapes constantly, always limited by physics and all that. They feel so blunt, like it's not a problem for me. But I'm way better than this, Mom. You know how when I was younger, I used to draw clothes, and I dreamed of becoming a fashion designer? Mom! Yes, sweetie, we've talked about this, and you agreed with us, remember? Now leave Mommy alone for a bit. There's something not clicking here. Why did I just remember that? I miss her. Yes, I miss Mommy not, like, paying attention to me. After walking for a while, I arrived in front of the market. This time, it was closed, and not just for the day, but for the rest of the days. It shut down, from what I was able to tell. This town did resemble my memories of it, but yet it felt so far from what I remember it to be. It just felt like a sad, mournful, bitter blanket had laid upon it while I've been gone. And I miss it, even though I used to fear it so much. After all, it wasn't the town which was haunting me, but rather its people, with their disappointed looks drifting in my direction before rapidly clearing me from their sight, avoiding me in shame. But still, it's the people that make the town what it is. It looks almost like I remember it, but just slightly changed. I remember when the entrance was full of people. I remember when I used to come here with my friend. I wasn't really the type to go out, but my friend had cared enough to take me sometimes. It wasn't because I was antisocial or anxious or anything weird like that. Wow, rude! Anything weird like that? Girl, you rude! I chose to stay inside. There is nothing weird about it. No, everybody else is just weird, including the anxious people. I mean, I never felt sad because of it. I remember how we would buy cheap chocolate ice cream and sunflower seeds. That's an odd combination of fucking things. Feel ashamed of that, bitch. And then we would go in a park and talk for hours. I want to go see that park too while I'm still here. This mini market is also the place from where my dad bought Popo for me. I was 8 years old. Look, Popo, it's your oldest home. Do you remember it? Do you think the others, like you, are still inside? Close your eyes, sunshine. Why? Why? Go on, close them. Okay. What do you feel? It's fluffy and fuzzy. What is it? Can I open my eyes? You can open them now. A teddy bear! You like it? Yes, I love him. Thanks, Dad. Are you gonna give him a name? Yes, his name will be Popo. And I'm gonna carry him around with me for the rest of my life, even as a grown woman things. I say as a grown woman thing who also still has stuffed animals from back in the day. I felt like I was 8 years old again. This memory filled my body with warmth. But it didn't take long until a rather cold, void-need feeling embraced me. No matter how much we rewind the time and relive our memories with closed eyes, we'll never be able to actually turn back the time. It was this feeling of helplessness which turned my sudden happiness upside down. Sometimes the happiest memories hurt the most. I went to take a closer look. On the wall next to the other degraded posters and flyers was a letter. It's Mary again. Alright, here we go.
Dear Lorraine, it's been 3 months now. I couldn't bring myself up to do anything. I wasn't able to take care of myself. I couldn't bring myself up to do anything. All I could do is just stare at the 13 cheap plastic fluorescent stars above my bed and hold Popo in my trembling arms. I wasn't able to take care of myself properly. I just wore the same clothes every day. I ate the same cup soup every day. I wasn't even able to wash myself.
Gross!
My stomach was constantly hurting. I was always dizzy, always surrounded by a disgusting mess and smell, and have gone through sleepless nights.
Okay, so she's in denial. She's out here talking about, oh, anxious people and introverts and everybody are so fucking weird. But I'm not weird because I'm Lorraine. But Mary's the weird one because Mary's the one who is anxious and weird and depressed and all the things that Lorraine isn't. I see what's going on here.
I don't want to tell you all of these because I don't want to lose you, Lorraine. But you're the only one I have.
Yes, the only delusion I have.
Every day I feel like I'm drifting further away from you.
From the goal.
From others. And from life itself.
Okay, from the life she wants.
One of the neighbors took care of me, feeding me, and making sure that I'll last last at least one more day. But I can read her masked disgust on her gestures.
Dang, she was really going through it. That's one hell of a depression, and also rude because your neighbor is kind enough to take care of you.
Maybe this is the punishment for what I've done.
Her neighbor's a hell of a lot nicer than I would have been. I'd have been like, I ain't seen that chick in some time. It's been like 6 months and she's in there rotting.
I just feel so shameful for even writing to you, asking for your pity. I know you'll choose to forget me, and that's probably better. I won't ask you to look back. Knowing you're there somewhere is enough for me. But sometimes, I just wish you could give me a sign to keep on living.
Okay.
Signed, Mary.
October. Mary, I can't even imagine what you're going through, because I'm perfect Lorraine. But what happened to you? God, I hope she's better now. I don't know her, but I want to. I want to meet Mary. Yeah, see, this is like weird because the letters are addressed to Lorraine from someone named Mary. She keeps talking about Mary like she knows Mary, and yet she just told us she doesn't know Mary. This is definitely like a split personality delusion sort of thing. Take it. After I've stood in silence, embracing my memories for a little longer, I continued walking. There it is, the gas station. There's a chicken over there. I remember coming here frequently in the last days here before leaving, being so close to the town's outskirts. There were less people, and I just felt a bit more safer buying snacks and cigarettes from there. It's been a good year since I quit smoking. Wait, I think I see someone. They're going behind the building. That's strange. Hello? Hey, wait a sec! Get over here! Oh, okay. Bye. The blurred silhouette walked slowly until it disappeared around the corner. I didn't know who they were, but they felt kind of familiar for some reason. I was far enough to not catch them in time. Their aura fascinated me. It was definitely a girl, wearing a skirt, a black leather one, with short brown hair, and high-heel boots. She reminded me of myself, almost as if it's on the nose and is yourself, most likely. I tried to catch her up, but I couldn't really run with what I was wearing, only barely. I followed her around the corner where she went, and I was led to a public restroom. She's probably inside. I'll just wait for her here until she's ready. Then, finally someone who can help me. I stepped on something. It's a letter? From Mary.
Dear Lorraine, I'm not sure if what I'm doing is right. Lately, I haven't felt motivated to do anything. I'm just contemplating.
Contemplating, huh? Yeah, I know that feeling. Contemplating what? I get the feeling I know what. But what?
I've always liked to observe and draw.
Uh-huh.
I like watching people out my room's window, seeing them smiling or crying.
Last one's a little weird, but okay.
I like to see them interact with one another.
Yes, people watching.
And when their emotions trigger their wrinkles, when their eyes shine, I just pick up my pencil and draw them.
Okay, are you like just watching people from the window, or do you have like full-on binoculars? Because that's a lot of detail you're picking up.
Face, body, clothes, moving or standing. I just draw them living.
Maybe the neighbor wasn't afraid of her being all depressed and shit. She was just like, oh my gosh, that creepy girl is watching me from my window again.
I may not have a great social life, but I never felt lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Alone, sure, but never lonely. Or so it used to be. Isolating myself by just observing had its perks, but downfalls as well. And now I begin to feel guilty doing it. I mean, it's not my purpose, isn't it? I'm studying architecture.
You're studying people, apparently.
My parents agreed to let me study there.
Where?
I had to convince them that I can do something by drawing. But is this really what I wanted? Lorraine, whatever happens, I just hope you're happy right now. and that all of these questions and concerns have been answered for you.
No, absolutely nothing has been answered.
Please forgive me and give me a sign I'm doing what is right.
I feel like we're just reiterating the same things in every letter.
Please come find me and show me the way.
This is the way.
Signed, Mary.
Signed, Mando. April 4th, 1998. Mary. Mary, who are you? And where are you? She's in the bathroom! In the mirror! Is Mary the one I should be looking for? She needs my help, doesn't she? But why would I look for her if I don't know her? Could she be here in this town? After all, I'm not alone here, but I don't know anyone named Mary. Do I? I kept the letter! Never mind. What's taking this girl so long? She still hasn't come out. Should I go inside? I mean, it's a public restroom after all. I reached for the door's handle with my hand, wrapping it gently. I began to grip it firmly, ready to open the door. Bitch. The handle moved very stiffly, but I managed to open it. I heard it click and felt the door slightly pulling away from me, dragging my hand with it as I held it. I opened the door. Don't let the nightmares get you! It's gonna take away your soul! Oh no! We'll never be able to live in the delusion ever again! As soon as I regained control over my body, I burst out of the public bathroom. My ears continued to hear the demeaning sound of pain. My heart beat fast like an animal's being chopped. I felt sick again, and I felt it coming out of me again. As I lay my eyes on the ground, my vision darkened. Girl, stop it! It made me gag. I began to cry. My whole body was turned upside down. I stood there, lying on the ground. Trying to stop my tears as I gripped the dust from the ground. Mom! Dad! No, what have I done to you? I'm sorry, Popo. I can't do it. I want to go home. I don't know how much time I remained silent on the ground. Eventually, I did get up and continued walking forward. Okay. I kept on walking, not sure where I was going. I continued to step forward as memories rumbled in my head, eagerly trying to make me remember something. Something more than I wanted to. Thinking back on it, the sole reason for which I came back here was to see my parents, again. After such a long, deep breath in, which I deserted myself. What? After such a long, deep breath in, which I denied myself, but I kept seeing things which I could only dream of remembering again. I knew where my parents were, but I was afraid to admit it to myself. I knew I've sent them to such a horrible place, and not just them, but that other poor man as well. I was indeed a murderer, and it felt like the remorse for my actions was never enough. My tears were never enough. My shame was never enough. My pain was never enough. I don't know if YouTube will let me say that, but, you know, being rid of myself was the escapism which my heart couldn't have allowed me to afford. I wanted to live a painful life in order to pay for what I've done, to show them I was sorry and feel somewhat better. I wanted to fulfill my deserved punishment, but soon I realized the burden I was carrying on my shoulders was too much for an already torn apart soul like mine. I was walking with no direction, yet it felt like I knew exactly where I was going, even though I didn't. The endless roads drained me, merging with me as... What? The endless roads drained me, merging me with the fog as I deepened myself in the town's roots. And I felt more and more lost in this endless maze of grief. After a few more minutes, I arrived. I have arrived. This is the place, isn't it? There's so many. It hurts to look at all of them. I feel unwanted, but I guess that's how I felt all the way here. It's so quiet. Where could they be? Mom, Dad. I hope they can hear me. I wish I could hear them too. There's something odd about this place. The tombstones don't look as they should. These are not crosses, are they? But what are these? I feel like I've seen them before. I should know, right? I know what they are. I don't know. I went to take a closer look at each tombstone. I was right. These weren't regular ones. Actually, I don't even think they were tombstones in the first place. They had dates and titles written on them. I began to read each of them, hoping to form a conclusion. Second place Math Olympiad 1996-2000. First place Art Contest 1997-99. First Vivienne Westwood Jewelry 96-2001. First Barbie Doll 1986-99. First Time at the Beach 91-2000. I think these are memories. So it's a graveyard of memories. First Kiss 96-99. 18 Years Anniversary 1998-99. Popo Joins the Family, 1988. Started Writing Letters, 1998 to 1999. Damn you, Popo, it was you this whole time. Graduated high school, 98 to 99. Driver's license, 98 to 99. The car accident, 1998. What are all of these? These are not people. It's weird. They seem to be some kind of dates. I mean, I do remember some of them. Popo, the accident. But what are these time periods? I don't think I know all of them, but they feel oddly familiar. In the distant fog covering the graveyard, a familiar silhouette appears. It's that girl again. Hello, can you help me? I ran as fast as my clothes were allowing me to, getting myself finally in front of the mysterious girl. The meeting felt almost surreal, but I was finally standing in front of the girl I once chased after in the gas station. This time, there were no corners behind which she could make herself disappear. We were standing face to face, eye to eye. That? You can't run in that? How tight is this leather?
Lorraine?
Okay, they don't seem to have the same face. Not really.
You. You were the one at the gas station earlier, right?
What is that?
It was you, right? Is it really you? Do we know each other?
Both got a cross on.
Sort of. What are you doing here?
And they both appear to be wearing rings. I came to see my parents, and I was also looking for help with something. Help? What for? Well, you see, I can't remember. Girl! I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. The moment I had to speak my needs out, my brain just froze, and I entered the dark as memories began to slowly descend into dust. Damn, we are just messed up. I know I was looking for someone to help me, but there was no one around here anymore. Where are the people? People? Why would there be people around here? What do you mean? It's a town. My town. I've lived here, and I know the people just like they know me. Is that how you see it? The girl's nonchalance mixed with her sense of subtle humor for my arrival deepened the questions inside my head, as I began to feel more uncomfortable as everything was losing sense and coherence. She was looking at me with a soft grin on her face, her red lipstick losing its shade, fading around the edges, as she herself appeared clueless in regard to the reason I was here, just like me. I don't want to be rude, but may I ask why you're searching for your parents right here? They're dead. The girl suddenly stepped closer, dragging me into a warm hug filled with a nostalgic scent. The fabric of her pullover was rubbing against my skin, a fabric I haven't worn much lately. I've been waiting for you, Lorraine. I've missed you. After 1 minute of holding me, she stepped back. Girl, I don't know you. I'm Mary. The name Mary repeated in primordial echoes, filling my head with a sense of unease, yet closure. For I finally found and met the person carrying the name I've been looking after without even realizing. She was the only person, other than me, breathing the same old rusty air crossing this town's roads. Mary? You are Mary. Does that mean you're the one who wrote those letters? Yeah, those were mine. They were written for you, but I guess they never reached you. And then I guess they simply became pawns of the wind, lost on the foggy field of this town. Boy, aren't we poetic! One of the letters did reach me. I have it with me here. You asked me to come visit you and my parents. It reached you? Mary takes the letters in her thin hands, feeling the texture of paper touched by the dust of time. How extraordinary. But Lorraine, why now? Why only now after so much time? I don't know. I've wanted to come sooner, believe me, but I guess it just wasn't the right time for me. I've always been late for everything, and because of that, I've ended up suffering a lot. But I'm pursuing change. You have changed. A lot. I mean, you look so different, but in a good way. I like your boots. I know they're boots because I recognize them. We're both wearing the same ones, see? I guess that back in the old days, I thought people could never change, and they don't. Unless they get hurt really bad. I've been alone here for a very long while. I'm glad you're here, Lorraine. A soft shiver ran down my spine as tears trembled on the waterlines of my eyes, yet they remained held in. Mary fascinated me. She wasn't like others in the way that she didn't feel like a human. Talking to her and hearing her clean-toned words flowing felt like reading an old poem, the kind you would write in high school in a romantic regret. A romantic regret? That's hilarious. I've paused a bit before I spoke again. Mary, you've known my parents, right? I know them, yeah. I know this doesn't make any sense. I mean, I've already told you earlier, but could they still be alive? I'm not able to give you a concrete answer, but do you believe they are? I stared at the ground silently. Lorraine, was it my letter which brought you here, or something else? My parents called me. They phoned me. Mary's enthusiasm seemed to fade just slightly, as she was potentially studying my words. I see. I can't give you an answer, but in case they might still be alive, I think I know where you could find them. You do? Where? Tell me! Hearing Mary's comforting words of hope made me smile again. All I wished for at that time was to know if they still loved me, and knowing I might have the chance to hear their voices again and their answer, my eyes lit with sincere wrinkles in the corners. On the Street of Hope, the block with willows, there are 3 staircases. The second one is the one you're looking for. I can come with you if you want. I'd be happy to spend more time with you now that you're here. Okay, this feels like a big one. We're gonna let Mary tag along. Alright, thank you. Really, this means a lot to me. I know. But before we leave this place, I need to know. Is this really a graveyard? Mary smiled softly, gazing upon the large yard. It is a graveyard. A graveyard for memories. Mary gets close to one of the tombstones. She places her palm on its surface. On it, it was written the following: the car accident, 1998. See? The name of the memory and the year it happened. Unlike others, this one doesn't have the year, it was forgotten. You still remember it in all the painful detail, don't you? I do. Well, thank you for letting me know. We began to slowly descend from the graveyard and started heading toward the location Mary has given me. The Street of Hope, the block with willows. The streets running beneath our feet felt endless, yet they became less tiring. As we were passing house by house, tree by tree, the air filled itself with the light I once used to know. I began to feel warmth and happiness seeing the old town after so many years. Watching it, empty as it was, felt like I was observing an old recovered artifact in a museum. Covered in a cold protective glass, wrapped in dust, a testimony for the many years which have passed. The cold, lonely atmosphere which the town was emanating made me feel distant from it, unable to touch it, as if it was preserved. It felt right for me to walk these streets again, because this was my hometown, my home, which I've denied I missed for so many years. But now here I am, closer than ever to my home, in the town's large garden of my childhood. I've missed this town. I remember walking these streets endlessly when I was younger. You weren't really the type to go out, but when your friends would take you out, you would walk for hours indeed. There wasn't much we could do here, but it was enough to keep us together. Instead, we had each other to entertain ourselves. Mary, is the Green Park still there? Of course, why wouldn't it be? Is it perhaps on our way? I would really like to walk through it again. Yeah, I can take you to see it. There's also the town's river, Aurora. I'd like to take you there too. Thank you, Mary. It makes me really happy to hear those words coming from you. They're both on our way, so which one do you want to see first? I want to see the park. Alright, but we'll have to hurry a bit if you wish to see both. Why's that? Well, you see, the sun will set soon, and I don't want the night to catch us. Oh, I see. But why? When you're alone, the dark is even more unsettling and painful. And it's dangerous. Dangerous in what way? There's no one here, right? Yes, that's true, but even though I've been alone here, I'm alive because I managed to survive. Survive what? Lorraine, I do live here, but this town is not safe. Neither for me nor for you. That's why you left. My decision to leave had nothing to do with it being safe or not, but one makes it unsafe. Then why did you leave? I left because there was no need for me to be here anymore, and everyone kind of estranged me from them. I began to feel unwanted, avoided, and I wanted more from my life than to just rot here alone forever. I wanted more from my life too, and everything was stolen from me because of that. There's no place for me to go to, so I have to stay here, killed every day by feeling unwanted. It wants to kill me, Lorraine, and it's so hard to fight it. Staying hidden in my room every day, shedding my tears to not make a noise, avoiding it at any cost. When night falls, with its cold blanket on this town, I feel the loneliest, and those who are lonely like me become its prey. Prey to what? You have already seen it. It is everywhere. It consumes you. Mary described to me the very thing which was bothering me all alone here. The painful, absent presence which I continuously felt in this town, reminiscent of the accident, and all of its weight which has followed after began to form sense as it finally caught shape through Mary's words. The constant rumbling, running through my stomach, rotting me from the inside, became real. Oh God, Lorraine, what's wrong? Her words of concern have synthesized in shivering whispers of wind, too harsh to make sense of. After I freed myself from the agonizing acid storm within me, I felt empty, too empty, able to feel the inner tissues of my stomach sucking on each other. It felt like my stomach was about to implode. I fell to the ground, taking a break. Mary was there all along, but I can't remember her words. After I managed to get up, we continued walking. I didn't bother Mary with more questions since this subject seemed to upset her as well. I made my promise to her to be quick about my reunion with the town's ancient places, and we continued to seek them. Soon we arrived in the Green Park, which I was hopeful to see again. Everything was in its place, just like I recalled it, although it was slightly defying my memories of it, as its nostalgic colors faded in an agonizing gray, just like the other places I visited. We're here. This is the Green Park. Yes, it is. The benches I used to sit on are still there, with their countless hours of chat and eating sunflower seeds. You liked it here. Even with people passing by, you still felt like you could have your own intimacy. We used to draw everything our eyes could catch. Remember when one old lady asked for your sketch of her? You notice how she's interchangeably saying our, we, but then saying you within the same two sentences. She was willing to pay you, but you gave it to her for free. You loved watching the elders just enjoying their evenings here, alone in their thoughts. You admired them. You still draw, Lorraine? I don't, actually. Oh, why? Have you still studied architecture? I did, but I didn't do it for me. I guess it was just a way for me to wash away my guilt. I wanted to feel free and good again. I stepped away from my drawing as a whole. I don't want to be involved with it anymore. Mary's eyes seemed to have filled with a slight shade of solitude. I see. That's a shame. I mean, you do you. I just didn't expect that. But I do understand why you chose to stay away from it. I do miss it, but I don't want to risk triggering myself. I've been dealing with enough problems. Tell me about them. Well, one of them is phonophobia. Phonophobia? Yeah, any loud noise can trigger me. The effects range from feelings of suffocation, anxiety and chest pain, fainting. That's horrible. But you're getting better, right? It doesn't impact your life that much, right? It does impact me enough, but I'm dealing with it. I'm no longer being dragged down by any inconvenience. After all, we're the only ones to blame for the shit that happens to us. Yeah, this is kind of toxic in a way. Like, you are responsible for your actions and how you handle things. It's all on you, but a lot of stuff is also practice. You have to, like, keep at it with, like, you know, therapy or other things. Therapy isn't just like a thing where you just talk at your therapist and they're like a sounding board where they just hear all your bullshit all day. But, you know, they're there to listen to what's going on and then provide you with methods to you know, either learn new skills to handle things or new ways of thinking. You know, like I said, they're not just there to be a sounding board. There's reasons for this, but she uses a lot of, like, self-deprecating language. And I'm pretty sure it's self-deprecating and not necessarily reflective of her thoughts and opinions on others who have this. It could be. Sometimes that's how that works. Not all the time, but sometimes. I have to live with it alongside others. Okay, see, alongside others, that's kind of an open-ended thing. You can interpret that anyway. Alongside other people in general, or alongside others who have the same issues as her. I guess you're right. Gosh, Lorraine, I'm so sorry. Don't be. Sorry for still asking, but you said you finished architecture school. What'd you do with your degree? Nothing. I did nothing. But then, what do you do for work? I'm a model. You're a model? Yes. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't either, but this is how it turned out in the end. No matter how much I've worked and prepared myself, life has proven to me that having control over it is just an illusion. Life is just a game of luck, and we're gambling our remaining time alive. That's why sometimes it can be beautiful, and other times it can be harsh. At least you're happy, right? I am. I like to think I am. It feels so great to have people admiring you and aspiring to be like you. But maintaining this image is not the greatest of things. Looking in the mirror always reveals something wrong with me, something which could be enhanced. My body has to fit in the required standards, otherwise I lose the job. I have to be careful with what and how much I eat, how much I weigh. It's a lot of pressure. Sometimes I wonder if it's really happiness or just me misinterpreting the pressure in order to cope with it. Mary looks sad after hearing about the reality I have to live in, but she still put on a comforting smile. I'm sure you'll sort it out eventually. That's why you're here, after all. Mary's words circled my head as we sat on a bench breathing in the park's nostalgic air. A short brief of time passed and we began moving again. After a while of walking, we made our way to Aurora River. Out of all the places I recalled through this unheralded stroll in my past, this place stood out the most. It felt, in a way, more lively, despite the agonizing fog reminiscent of how quickly everything took a turn for the worst, ending in pain. Perhaps it was the dim lights, the way they shone even though there was nothing to cast light upon. The way they shone in the water's reflection, keeping the river's bottom floor unseen from a wanderer's eyes. When I do go out, I like to walk along the river. It's the only place that's lit up. The only shining light I can see is here. Light brings hope. It's really beautiful. I can see why you prefer the river now. Yeah, the water here really is the closest mirror around here. I went with Mary near the river's edge to see our reflections. As I was peeking my eyes into the water's reflective void, I saw myself. My reflection has changed from who I used to be, but standing right next to Mary made it look familiar again. We're so different from one another. What do you mean? Just look at us. We look like two different people. Well, of course we do. I'm Lorraine and you are Mary. Yeah, I'm Mary and you are Lorraine. I wanted to tell you that you've got a great style. You really stand out for someone living here. The clothes, they look like Titanic's color palette. What? Yeah, that's what I said. What? Titanic, the said unsinkable ship which struck an iceberg and sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean? That's flattering. You're a cool chick, Mary. Oh, thanks. I'm sorry, I'm not used to getting compliments. It's alright, I know how you feel. I've been there too. I know how it is to feel alone. I know how it is not to have anyone there for you. But you're no longer alone, Mary. You have a friend in me now. Thank you, Lorraine. You know, when I would feel lonely, I would go talk to my teddy bear. A teddy bear? I know it sounds stupid. No, it doesn't. What's his name? Popo. Mary's eyes shone bright at the sound of Popo's name, drawing a pure, soft smile, pushing her cheeks up, wrinkling her soft eyes. I've actually brought him here with me. This is Popo. He's everything to me. All of my memories, my happiness, and my sadness. Can I hold him, please? Of course. Mary wrapped her gentle arms around the round teddy bear, bringing it to her chest and locking eyes on it, and then drowning him in the river. She remained silent for a few seconds, looking with gazing eyes at Popo, as slim, barely noticeable tears formed around her eyes. She cracked a quiet giggle. Popo, of course. I never thought I'd hold him again like this. I missed him so much. You had one too? Yeah, I had one too. Just like this one. And you called him Popo too? Huh, coincidences sure are interesting. Do you believe in coincidences? Yeah, I suppose. They are part of what makes life life. Do you? It doesn't matter if I do or not. After all, how would you know if it is a coincidence or not if there's no one there to share it with? I suppose that loneliness is a harsh habitat that eventually will require you to adapt to it and forget your usual accommodations. I can tell you had to adapt as well. What the? Oh, I didn't realize. The way you look right now is just your response to the life you chose to live. It's your shield. But my question is there still something left behind your cold shield that needs to be protected? Or did it consume itself without you even realizing? I can't really remember my response to Mary's words, but I'm sure that whatever I would have said to her, deep down within my true self, I quietly agreed with her. Her words were full of truth, even if upon hearing them they might have not meant so much to me. I didn't understand it at first, or maybe I was just shielding myself from her question, just like she said. We spent a few more minutes watching the river slowly flow under the dim lighting, and then we continued walking. As we concluded our little detour, serving as a nostalgic stroll through the remaining dust of memories, we were finally getting closer to the Street of Hope. The road was still lit, but only barely through the thick layers of fog. As we walked, we passed by an unfinished house. The house was all alone, with only a large field behind it, which would have made a beautiful garden. I couldn't see the sun because of it, but I could see red clouds embracing the sun, as it was staining the sky one final time before setting down. It felt so painful, almost like it was dying, and it made me wonder if it would rise again tomorrow. I looked at Mary, who has been silent for the last few minutes, and it became clear. I could tell she was concerned while hurrying, although she kept her composure perfectly. We were late. We were too late to start heading toward the Street of Hope if we wanted to make it there before dawn. Time felt like it had frozen, but the harsh truth is that it was always ticking, faster than we thought. Time didn't wait for us, but I guess that's because we didn't spend it like we should have either. For as long as I can remember, I've always been fighting the ticking of time, and it always caught me. Is it worth even imagining that having control is possible when I can't even handle my time? I knew it was bad. I could read it on Mary's sharp eyes and on her soft-shut lips. It's okay, Mary. We'll make it. Can you please hurry up? I'm trying to. It's rather hard to move with these leather pants. Yeah, I bet. Hey, what's the matter? What's this attitude? My attitude? Well, who else is, Mary? Why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling, Lorraine. Please, just try to make an effort. I'm doing all I can, okay? What, you want me to fly too? It's getting dark. We have to hurry. Just please, can't you just walk a bit faster? I'm doing all I can, ho. Yeah, sure, all you can do is just think about yourself. If you really cared about me, you would have tried. I'm trying, Mary. Geez, you are taking it so personally. Why are you being so selfish all of a sudden? I'm selfish. I've waited 6 years for you, and this is how you treat me? You've really changed, Lorraine, and I wasn't expecting you to be like this. I thought you'd be different. I thought you'd be the Lorraine I used to know. Now that you're here, there's nothing left for me to hope for. And what am I supposed to do? Mary, I don't even know who you are. Because you're too full of yourself. You don't even try to remember. You only have eyes for you, not others. Well, having eyes for others has only ever made me suffer. You need a heart to care. If they're suffering, of course you'll suffer as well. But you just completely brush this burden off your shoulders, don't you? And what should I have done? You shouldn't have left. If you would have cared enough, you would have stayed here. Just stay here and rot in my own tears, like you? Stay here and be disregarded by everyone? I have a life, and I want to live it. Like I said, the only thing you care about is your own self. Well, at least I love myself. All you care about are other people and what they think about you. You wouldn't even care if you'd have to die as long as you'd please them, and neither would they. You think you're really mature by putting up this very self-assured mask, making it seem like nothing bothers you. It is getting foggier out here, like everything is under control, when the truth is, you're just as miserable as I am. You act as if you're finally independent, having it all figured out, when in reality, you're just a child running away from your problems. It's all a facade, a performance, the worst one I've seen. I might run away from my problems, but at least that's one way to deal with them. Ignorance is bliss. You just sit here with all your troubles pressing up against your back, thinking that if you'll cry loud enough, they'll finally go away. You're not one to tell me about my flaws and what to do. You care about other people. You pretend to love them, but how can you? You do that when you don't even love yourself. This is the one who's blinded by their own self-love. You want to meet up with your parents after 6 years, but do you really think that just apologizing will make you feel better? Apologies won't solve anything. They are dead. Words are just excuses in the end. You're just like them, and nothing more than just what they wanted. A machine only able to grow itself and buy itself. I'm not like you, and I'd never want to be like you. I'd rather die alone here than be you. No matter how much self-development you think you've achieved, you're just a selfish person in the end. You're not me. I'm not Lorraine. Lorraine is just what my parents wanted me to be. I always hated her, and it's because of her that they died alongside that man. Yet again, the memory of my reaction to Mary's harsh words were blurred, and I probably ignored them in the end, just like I taught myself to. I guess it was easier to just have blackouts whenever I think of something able to cast the same shadow on me. But in my eyes, more than half of my life was lived in its darkness. Now I was finally able to be surrounded by light all around me. But perhaps I was just simply blinded by a small glow which I furthered myself from, lying to myself I could reach it again one day. I didn't want to admit it, but the truth is, I felt lonely again. Mary's merciless commentary was harsher than any of the ones I had to live with after my parents' death and after taking that innocent man's life. It made me feel miserable again, and it made me realize that I've never really escaped people's critiques. I was just ignoring them. It has always been before my eyes, growing growing and twitching its rusty shapes into sharper and larger ones, deconstructing itself in the symphony of my oppressed agony, filling me with self-disgust. A fabricated, polluted balance, a twisted image of morality, an illusion of control, a degenerated mask which no longer fulfills its role. A disgustingly slim figure taking up too much space, constantly puking out all of its obesity of vermin, strangling anyone it ever interacts with. Closed up, isolated, decolored, covered in a dark veil of shame, only able to feed off others' misery in order to make its own one scream more softly. A degrading, toxic self-love, consuming the body shell, letting its bones and veins leak out. Mary could see it. Her breath froze. Her eyes widened. Her skin became pale as sweat was dripping down her forehead. Despite its obviously concerning presence, I was not yet able to see it, but I could feel it. The same feeling I thought was chasing me since I arrived here. But actually, it has been chasing me long before I made my mind up to come here. As I was staring in the deforming distance, it finally caught the shape I wished I could never see again. Okay, attempt to run. Tell Mary to run. Ooh, okay. We're gonna tell Mary to run. Mary, run! Run! Now! Mary! No matter how much I shouted, Mary was unable to move or do anything. And then... Uh-oh. We're done for, Mary. Bye, Mary. Mary's eyes were opened again. Her chest started bleeding, staining her yellow pullover. The stain got greater and greater as her wound in her heart intensified. Her mouth filled with blood, gagging. It was too much for her and she couldn't handle it anymore. Dang! She began to cry tears of blood, but no matter how much she did, I couldn't do anything. Her right eye flooded itself with blood and began to shut slowly as this side of her was fading away. Suddenly Mary's neck snapped. Damn! And she was gone forever! Bye, Mary! Well, c'est la vie. I began to run, furthering myself from Mary's corpse. I couldn't look back. I was too afraid. I was too afraid to be consumed by it just like Mary. Although a side of me kept screaming her name, begging me to go back and hold her hand in the hope of seeing her smile again, it was pointless. Mary was dead. Mary was dead because of me. I ran as far as I could, but yet again the sheer disgust of myself was penetrating my esophagus. I vomited again, and the steaming, rusty taste never seemed to leave my mouth. It was stuck with me, a testimony to the fact I will never manage to cure myself, at least not this way. No matter how much it would occur, this distorted image of me will never leave me alone. It will never be enough. Mary. No, no, no. What have I done? No, why did this happen to me? Why again? Why do I have to ruin it all again? Mary, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for everything I said. I'm sorry for everything I've done. I'm sorry for leaving you alone again, just like your parents did. You didn't deserve this. No one did. Just me. I'm the one to blame. I should have been the one to die, not you, Mary. Please forgive me, for I can't. I was again nothing more than just a murderer. I sank into what I've been avoiding all these years. I've dropped another dear soul on the cold ground, leaving my hands stained by their blood. But Mary was different. I should have listened to you, Mary. You knew what was coming after us, after you, and all I did was complain. I mistreated you. I thought I knew better when you clearly told me we were in danger here. I didn't even get the chance to say sorry for all of those horrible things I've told you. You know I didn't mean them. You're wonderful, Mary, and you should have heard this from more people, and I'm sorry I wasn't one of them. It's too late. Now you'll probably never come back, because of me. Even if I didn't know her, she held a deeper place in my heart than anything I know. Maybe I didn't realize this when I met her, but now I know for sure. I've been so afraid to let Mary reach my heart and see the world through her eyes. I've detached myself from her because of her vulnerability. Her vulnerability killed her, but at least she had lived true to herself and her heart was beating like a human's. She was too kind for this world, so I've become everything but her. I want to see you again, Mary. Like I said, Mary was different, and the fact that I cared more about her than my parents made me feel selfish. It made me feel miserable, or at least reminded me that I'd been miserable all along. The only thing left to do was to thank her. Thank you for your warm company, Mary, and thank you for enlightening the path I must follow. I promise I won't mess it up again. Because of you, now I know where to look for my parents and I'm no longer lost. I promise you that I'll change. I'll change no matter how many times it's needed for you to forgive me. I'll become the best I can be. Having made this promise to Mary, I continued to walk the now darkened roads, which will eventually lead me to the block with willows on the Street of Hope. The rush to get there in time can no longer be felt as it was already too late. Now it was all a matter of morality, which I did not want to stay in more than I've already done. How much longer do I have to walk? It's so dark. It feels like I've walked the same street for hours now. I can barely see where I'm going, yet I can feel this is the right path. Looks like there's just two of us again, Mr. Popo. What did you think of Mary? I wish you could still be here with us. And I think you also wish the same. If only you could talk, Popo. I'm sure you remember these streets far better than I can. Maybe you don't want to talk to me because of what I've done. I'm sorry for everything. I truly am, but I don't know what to do. See, Popo, right now, I feel sorrow. It's the right thing to feel after what I've done. But what am I supposed to do with it? It's so tricky. I don't feel like I have the right to do anything because of the shame I feel. But at the same time, I feel like I could at least try to do something and show that I do care. But I'm afraid that would just make it worse. Sorrow is something that simply remains constant. No matter how deep I feel it, it won't repair anything just by letting it fill my heart. But should I even do something after everything that has happened? I guess all that's left for me right now is to walk and walk. I don't know how much longer I have to keep on walking. But at least I know that each step gets me closer. At least I know I'm doing something that's not in vain. I kept on walking, but I don't know for how long. Time was something that did not matter anymore. My vision and senses were becoming darker and darker as walking was slowly becoming an effort. There were slight moments when I would simply walk with my eyes closed, but when I opened them, I realized I was finally there. After countless streets and minutes of suffocating silence, I was finally on the Street of Hope, the one I've been looking for too long. I didn't even notice that the fog was gone. I was finally allowed to look forward, only limited by the dark of night. This must be it. I finally made it. It's just like Mary said, a block with willows. Well, one willow. There's also a little kids park, but there are no kids playing anymore. Its colors are fading away. I went to take a closer look. It seemed the entry wasn't on that side, but the other. After I glanced a bit more at the nostalgic swings and slides, I came around the block on its side with doorways. These are the 3 staircases. Mary said the second one is the one I'm looking for. The building looks so rusty compared to the ones in my city, but I guess that's how they've been back then too. I walked to the second staircase's doorway. The door was pale and white, sealed up. Standing in front of it, I became submerged in a soft feeling of anxiety, but my chest wasn't hurting, and I could still breathe normally. It was somehow warm and welcoming, but I was still hesitating to make the next move. This is it. I have to call the intercom if I want to go forward. What if I hear their voice? Am I ready to hear them after everything? Am I deserving of hearing them again? I'm scared. What if they hate me? No, I made it too far to give it up again. I positioned my finger on the round, small button, feeling its bump softly pressing against the tip of my finger. I felt frozen, and I didn't want to move, but there were no more excuses left for me. I don't even remember the number I called, but I do remember every second of that feeling. Mom? Dad? Please be at home. After the loud, irritating sound of the intercom, the door was opened. The door opened. It means they're here. They really are here. I dragged it by its handle and made my way in. It was cold inside, much colder than outside. The walls were freezing, and a rather sad tone was circulating the whole room. Before me, there were a few steps leading to another door, which would lead me to the stairs. This is the mail room. It's all empty, but I guess that's to be expected. Mary said there's no one around here anymore. It's all empty. I walked forward, entering the actual staircase, but it wasn't how I was expecting it. What happened here? There are no stairs leading upwards. It seems there are only stairs leading down. After learning that the only way was down the stairs, I looked up. An endless void full of doors, which couldn't be reached anymore, were staring down at me. There's so many doors. How is one supposed to reach them? They're so far away. I can't even see the ceiling. It's too dark. I took a step closer, reaching the stairs railing, and I leaned forward again to sink my eyes into the inky distance. Damn it, I can't see the bottom floor either. It must be a long way down. I should better start heading downstairs then. My parents are waiting for me. I've made them wait for too long. I started going down the stairs, pierced by the chilling walls full of mold, decayed in their old memories. Every step taken could be heard through the echoing emptiness of the building. As I was going down, I noticed there were no doors. I looked one last time at the endless amount of doors hanging on the walls above me, fading out of my vision, and then I continued descending myself into the darkness below. What could they be thinking of me right now? Could they be happy? Or are they mad? I'm not sure what I should say to them. If I'll just be myself, I might end up hurting them again. Like I hurt Mary. I don't know which are the right words. If I say I'm sorry, they'll just think I don't actually care, because that's the only way you could interpret that. I've been away from home and from them for 6 years. Isn't it selfish of me to ask only now for forgiveness? Do I deserve it? Is it the right thing for them to see me, or is it just the right thing for me? What I'm asking is if I deserve to see them. I've longed for this moment unconsciously for so long, and I've never given them closure. I've just distanced myself because of the sheer shame I felt. And all the unspeakable guilt. I've taken someone's life, a poor innocent man's life, a man who surely had kids, which he loved so much. A man who had parents, who he also loved so much. A man who was simply living his life. Who was that man? I don't know, but I'm so sorry. Did he have a name? I don't know, but I'm sorry, I swear. What was that man? But not just him. I did something terrible. My hands will never be the young, pure, innocent ones my parents used to hold. These hands have... They killed. Who? After hearing that forever boundless voice, which was echoing within the dark walls and within me, everything became white. Little lights of memories were blowing away the dust of ignorance as it slowly became all clear again. The voices I had longed to hear were solidifying in my memory, their shape piercing reality as their echo was slowly grounding itself. After I accepted the light, I saw... You're a great driver, dear. Thanks, Mom. But please, put your seatbelts on, both of you. It's okay, dear. The road is clean anyway. You know that's not a good habit. We've always let you not put yours on, honey. Too bad you won't get to sleep again in the back while your dad drives. Nah, if she wants to, she can. I'll always drive for her. Those times have gone now. She's no longer little. In my eyes, she'll be forever. Thanks, Dad. Well, of course she'll always be my little daughter, too, but she won't stay with us forever. She might want to be by herself soon. You'll always be able to join me, you know. I won't even ask for permission. Haha, Dad. Our little birdie has finally learned to fly. You'll see. Once you start grad school, you'll see things differently. You'll prefer to be surrounded by people your age more, and that's okay. About grad school, I'm not so sure about pursuing architecture. Why not? Isn't drawing your passion? It is, Mom, but I'm more into philosophy and the human psyche. The themes I want to explore through drawing are more abstract. When I practice architecture, I feel so grounded. Well, we never said you can't draw what you like. I know, but I don't see myself really studying architecture. I mean, all the meditations I've taken didn't really speak to me. But we've spent tons of money on them. Oh, I think she meant mediations, not meditations. We wanted to make sure you could apply to architecture. We wanted to make it as easy as we could for you. We know you love drawing, so we didn't try to steal it away. Of course, that's why we made all these efforts so you can apply for architecture, Lorraine. I know, and I'm so thankful. Wait, they called her Lorraine. I've heard of this really good art school in the same city. It's praised by many, and it's also known to help young people like me find jobs. But you're studying architecture, Lorraine. That's the thing, Mom, I don't want to. I'm more than that. Well, there's only less than that, sweetie. What job offers could art school possibly even provide? Well, there's a wide range of them, and I want to speak my heart out to people through my drawings. Let's see what Dad has to say about this. I think you should listen to your mother. She's right. Is that it? Listen, sweetie, your mom and I made sure to give you the best education. We did our best to find the best teachers to prepare you for this field. And all of our work and effort was made in the end for you, to make sure you could live by yourself just as happily and carefree as you have lived with us. Yeah, Dad, but I don't see myself doing this and being happy. I know artists might not make the most of money, but all my life has been about money and spendings and savings, and I don't think I want to chase that mentality. What mentality? The mentality of wanting to assure food you actually enjoy for dinner every day? The mentality of wanting to afford all the clothes from the brands you like? You think that Victoria Wood necklace you wear all the time was cheap? Vivian Westwood. Yes, you think that could be at the hands of everybody? Listen, dear, I don't doubt your incredible talent and potential. I'm aware you can create incredible things. But this is the safest option for you, and it's all about drawing, your one true passion. And about math and physics, too. Yes, if you have the gift to be so talented with your hand coordination and also juggle with numbers and logic, why not take the chance, sweetie? Well, because I want to take a different chance. You see, I kept this inside of me ever since because I knew you wouldn't like this idea that much. But I finally built up the courage, enough courage to take this leap of faith. Look, there's one more week before the entry exam. Just try to think this through, okay? I already did. The day after tomorrow is the entry exam for the art school. I'm going to apply. But you can't! I can, Mom. I'm 18 years old. I can make my own decisions. Well, you sure can take the entry exam for your art school and also take the one for architecture. And until the results come out, you'll still have time to think about it. Yeah, he's right. You can do as such, right? Right? I heard their voice, but not from them, but rather from an old melody whose lyrics were too harsh at that time to pay attention to. Lyrics of an unfulfillable wish. Lyrics of regret. A melody which was too much for me to fully listen again to. Mom, Dad, I remember that day, the one which I've repressed within me so much. Looking back, I've been circling these stairs with no clue they'll lead me where I want to. Maybe that was the mistake all along. Even back then, I didn't want them to guide me, but why? Was it worth it to stand up against them? Whatever I was fighting for, I've ended up dropping it anyway. Why was I fighting for something I wouldn't desire anymore? Is there any point in setting down your intentions when life can be so unpredictable? I wish they could help me find the answers. They've been the closest to me, and yet I was the furthest from them. Was their love worth sacrificing just for me to be happy? If you are happy, why would you think they wouldn't love you anymore? Because, I don't know. Because my happiness does not reflect the one they envisioned for me? Because I wanted to throw all their efforts in vain? Efforts for what? For everything, to assure a successful and happy life for me. If they just wanted you to be happy, then nothing can go in vain if you're happy in the end. I know, but are you happy? I don't know. Mary was always curious if I was. Whenever she would hear of good from me, her eyes would simply lighten up. In all of her letters, she was waiting for me to tell her that I'm happy in the end. But I'm not sure if I was able to deliver that ending. I guess I was far from what she was expecting out of her life in every way. I might not be the happiest, but even if I were, I think she would still be disappointed. I failed to carry on her legacy. Mary was authentic as a person, and now no one will ever get the chance to meet her again, because of me. I promised myself to never think about it so deeply again, to forget everything, to start a new, fresh beginning. But as I'm furthering myself in the depths of this building, I feel like I'm also going deeper within myself, a place which I was so afraid to tap in before. And I still am. I'm terrified. That's why I don't want to be alone anymore. I don't want to be alone with my thoughts again. Because I'll always end up, well, not sad, but lost, I guess. I just want to go back, but I can't keep running away. I'm 25 years old, yet I'm still acting like a kid turning 18, and so I hurt everyone around me. I've extinguished Mary so I can finally take matters into my own hands, to take action, because crying was no longer an option for me. But now I realize that I've never actually taken any action, or at least any constructive one. I've just run away from everything. Mary was right. She has all the right to be mad at me. Do you think she's mad at you? Probably. I'm not the person she aspired to be. She was happy that I came back here, back to her. But slowly as we talked, she began to feel more distant with every detail of my life I would share with her. And it's not just because I might still be miserable, and that maybe I haven't sorted things out. In her eyes, who knows, I might look like a psychotic slut, complaining about having to run in leather pants. I'm pathetic. I mean, just look at how I'm dressed. Is this how I want my parents to see me after 6 years? I look like a hooker. That's like they go a little far. The self-deprecating needs to stop too, girl. But I felt so beautiful. That's why I continue to dress up like this. It finally made me feel comfortable with who I am. That's why I love modeling, because I feel like at least a quarter of the star which used to brighten my parents' days. For them, you're bigger than the sun. Your parents would be proud of you to hear this. This is not what Mary wished for. And if she's not happy, then how am I supposed to be? I gave up on what meant the most for her. I gave up on everything that made Mary be Mary. Mary wanted closure. She wanted to know that her suffering caused by repressing her dream within her could be healed. She wanted me to heal this self-inflicted wound and give her hope for the future. She wanted to know if her dream could become reality. She longed for an answer, confirmation to know that her efforts and pain weren't for nothing. She had no one. Even her parents wouldn't understand how important it was for her. I was the only one who could truly understand her, and I failed her. That's why she's been stuck here, because there was no light to dry off her tears. And coming here to see her was probably a mistake. If she wouldn't have seen me, she would have still been alive. Still crying and alone, but at least alive. Isn't it better that you put her out of her misery? No. No. I killed her. I killed Mary. There can be no excuse for such a thing. I'm I'm a murderer. I can't put her out of her misery if I was the one who destroyed her life in the first place. I'm just a monster, and I can't keep finding excuses. I have to own up to my actions. I can't deny them anymore. If I do, I'll just lie to myself again. And I don't want to anymore. I don't want to live in a lie anymore. I want to be honest, if not with someone else, then at least with myself. I want to be aware of what I've done, of what I'm doing. I want to be aware that I'm sad. I want to be aware that I'm not happy with how things are going. I want to be aware that I'm weak and that I need help. I don't want to lie anymore. I want my smile to be genuine, not just a weapon to show people what a great life I have, because that's not true. I want to accept that sometimes I'm just not that great. I want to accept that there are other people far better than me, because there are, and I don't want to envy them. I want to look up to them. I just don't want to be so stubborn anymore. I want to be aware that I'm not the best, but still feel encouraged and motivated. I've lost myself trying to maintain my public image, trying to be perfect all the time. I'm not blonde. I just dyed hair. I'm not healthy. I get triggered by loud noises, and that's a psychological problem. I like to eat. I love food, but lately I've started puking it out, and I even lied to myself about it. I'm struggling with my weight and my body. And through all these good things about me are just lies. I don't even know who I am anymore. But you do know who you are. You are yourself. No, I'm not myself. I'll never be me. I can't be myself. The only thing that I am is a monster. I put my ambitions of becoming again a normal person before being human. I'm not. Why do you think you're a monster? Because I've killed my parents. I've killed a man. I killed Mary. People who were very important to me, but also people I had nothing to do with. And it's all because I was selfish, and I still am. Why did I decide to end the life of someone whose name I don't even know? Someone I've never interacted with. Why did I kill someone? Try to remember who he was. I just know he was happy. I know he was smiling in the car, even if he was driving alone. He knew where he was driving. He had no worries. But then I suddenly appeared. I probably crashed into him. I can't tell for sure. Remembering it would mean I'd also have to remember... Can you do it for me? I'm not sure I can. I'm scared. I don't want to. You don't want to lie to yourself anymore, right? That's true, but I can't. It's too painful. My heart, I can't bear that image anymore. It hurts so much. You have to remember. That's why you came here. To remember. Remember! I felt too ashamed to pursue refusal, so I had to let myself in. Let myself into the cold arms of near death. I stopped on the stairs, grabbing tight onto the railing as anxiety was building up. Trying to remember something that felt like trying to twist a knife in my own stomach, but yet I had to do it in order to survive. Ignorance from a bliss became pure poison, and I had to puke it out immediately. And so I stepped back again into the light. No! No? Honey? No, Mom. All my life I've tried to make you both proud by doing what you wanted me to do. But now I want you to be proud of me for what I really am. And I don't care how hard it will be. I'm willing to put in all the effort, and I'm willing to work for it. I will earn my true happiness, and I'll earn your respect as well. I appreciate your determination. I really, really do. I can't find the words, but your strong will really is a great virtue. But you have to understand us as well. As your parents, we would be devastated if you wouldn't manage. Stop making it all about you. If I don't manage, you think I'll fail in life, don't you? Do you really think I'm that naive and oblivious to this world? Is that why you ground me to stick only to your ways? Because you think I can't achieve anything on my own? You don't believe in me? Stop being so goddamn ignorant, Lorraine. It's not about us, it's about you. Then let me live my life the way I want to. I'm not a trophy for you. Let me feel my own happiness. All you should care about is for me to be happy. That's what love is. But you... This isn't love. It's just controlling. How dare you? How dare you say that? Oh, God. What have I done to hear this? How dare you say we don't love you? Apologize to your mother, Lorraine. No, it's about time. You should accept that I'm not the only one flawed here. It doesn't matter if you love me, if I don't feel your love. You selfish brat, that was my flaw. I gave too much to you without demanding your appreciation. You are so ignorant, Lorraine. They will eat you alive. They will mop the floor with you because you don't know a single thing about this world and about life. And me and your dad wanted to make sure you wouldn't have to deal with it, to deal with what we had to go through, because life is not easy, Lorraine. And your judgment right now just proves how little you still are. It is about you, and it was always about you. Your achievements are important to us because, yes, your life is yours, but our life is you. And not because of your simple-minded reasons like our pride or status, but because you are our child, Lorraine. We only want the best for you, goddammit. Yes, and your version of the best for me is not mine as well. The world has changed, and I will fight for it to change onwards. You both come from a time in which even expressing yourself was a taboo. We don't live in that world anymore. I don't live in that world. Why can't you just understand, Lorraine? You don't know this world. And it's true that we don't know it either, and that's why we can't afford gambling our paths. Understand it. This is for your better good. You little artists will get crushed in no time. No one cares about your paintings as long as it doesn't serve them, Lorraine. If anyone would actually be willing to pay you, they'll do it because of pity. There's no place for artists and pathetic daydreamers like you in this world. Open your eyes, Lorraine. Stop calling me Lorraine. You're the one who should open their eyes, both of you, to your daughter. You don't know anything about me. You don't even know that I hate the name Lorraine. Why even bother naming me Mary if you won't even call me that? I'm not your Lorraine. I will never be your Lorraine, and I will never want to be your Lorraine. And what you just told me earlier, I would rather die than hear this from my own parents. I hate you. You're getting off the road. Watch out. Damn, some hated shit was going on. There's a lot of words in this, ain't it? It is a story. Those were the last words I've heard from my dad. I didn't get to hear my mother again, but I did consider her words. I hope I've managed to open my eyes in the end. After we crashed, everything went black. I remember the ambulance sirens piercing the dry summer air. I can't remember much else of that day. Only the blue sky shadowed by an electricity pole, standing above me while I was laying down. I couldn't move. I was only able to stare at the pole while all the commotion around me was unfolding. My senses were lost, and I was fighting to grasp the air and breathe. I didn't realize what just happened, but I could feel pain waves traversing my body. I could hear people, but their voices were blurred. I wanted to call my parents, but I couldn't bring myself to say a word. It was too painful. Now you remember. Yeah, but I still don't remember the man. That's because there was no man. You haven't killed anyone. It was all just a tragic accident, a consequence of carelessness. You were angry and you lost focus on the road. But in the end, you're not a murderer. You just couldn't bear living knowing that only your parents died because of you. I'm not? It's true. Apologizing won't fix anything, and your mistake did have consequences felt by others. But you're not a murderer. You've never been one. But everyone thinks I am one. People's opinions will always be split. But the first and only one you have to convince is yourself. Most of them were just a projection of your shame and guilt. There were people who cared about you and wanted to help Lorraine, but you were too focused on your own pain, and you pushed them away. You've pushed everything away, and you still do it to this day. I know, it's true, and I'm just so ashamed for not being able to just take the step and work with myself. But I can't deny it. No matter how you look at it, I did kill my parents. Accident or not. I was the one driving. The only thing that you've killed that day was fulfillment. Leaving you empty of any integrity or love, you killed your love for your parents and their love for you. The love for life, for yourself, and for your goals. But time can heal all wounds, and you don't have to kill yourself again overnight just to be reborn as a better person. You need to embrace change. Embrace your mistakes. Learn from them and be happy with yourself. You still have a bit of time left to make your decision. She was right. I had to make up my mind, and quickly. Yet again, time felt like it could never wait for me, even for a second. I regained my vision, finding myself again going down the dark stairs, and soon I was finally there. I've made it. I've reached the bottom. The door's number is missing, but it's the only one, so it must be it. I knocked on the door, and then it slowly swung open, and there it was, my home. Mom? Dad? Hello? I'm home. It's me, Lorraine. I know that you may no longer be here, and I know it would be impossible to find you here. But it didn't stop me from hoping. If you can hear me, I want you to know that I'm home now. I'm finally home, and I've missed it so much, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. I'm not sure if you can forgive me, but I just wish to still be your little girl and make you too proud of me. I need you, and I'm so happy to be back. And with these being said, please excuse me for coming inside. I walked inside, feeling embraced by the dust filling the room. Despite the ancient time-wrapped walls, their rust was welcoming and their cold colors were warming my heart. A tight hallway decorated with hanging colorful carpets and a small hanging picture was connecting the entrance doorway to 5 other rooms. A small bathroom, a living room with a dinner table too, a kitchen, my parents' bedroom, and at the end of the hallway, my bedroom. It all feels so small and crowded. My current apartment isn't the biggest one, but now it feels much larger. I don't recall us to have been a poor family. We might have had a small home, but it never felt that way, at least for me. I've never felt pressured by how much money we had, but being back here again, I think I understand now the reality we were living in. I never got to thank them. I gently pushed the living room's door, making my way in. The living room. We would always gather here every night, playing cards, eat together, and talk about everything. My parents might have been the most open-minded people, but they were people of culture. And they always encouraged me to discover the world and to learn. And that's what I did. I'm mostly alone because I liked sitting in the back, observing everyone. I didn't have a problem with it, and even if sometimes I might have wanted to join others, I felt the most comfortable in my place. I liked discovering the world by myself and only by myself, and put all my thoughts on paper by drawing anything I could see. Drawing was my way of expressing my appreciation for what I see. And the ones I liked seeing the most were people. But unfortunately, I didn't get to see myself, too. I just sat waiting for someone to see me, too, eventually. Looking back on it, maybe I did feel a bit lonely. But even now, I still feel lonely. But I guess those times were just a bit easier. I want to see my old room. I walked down the hallway until I reached the door at the end of it. I took a deep breath and I opened the door. It's just like I remember it. My my shelter where I would always feel welcomed, and here I shed my tears instead of holding them in. It always felt like a safe zone. There was nothing to disturb me inside of here. I kept all my things in here, even old toys I couldn't let go of. Here I could write, draw, paint, dress up, cry, laugh, talk to myself without anyone judging me. Here I could be me. But after the accident, it became a prison, an isolation room, and all of its childhood charm faded away, just like I was fading away. The place I felt the safest became just an empty room. Empty enough to imprison my eyes here, away from the outside world. No one could reach out to me here, and I've lost touch with reality. I was wearing the same clothes, eating the same food, sitting in the same spot, and letting out the same tears every day. So I eventually had to do something. But none of it matters now. I'm here to remember the good times. I went next to my bed, holding Popo lightly in my hands. Leave Popo to rest or keep Popo with you. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna leave Popo to rest. Here, Popo. You should rest a bit. Do you remember when we used to sleep here together? And you would keep me company every night? I bet you missed our home and our old comfy bed. You've always taken care of me, but now I want to take care of you, and that's why I'll let you rest. The Mary who used to live here is in greater need of you than I am now. Please take care of her too, and forgive me for putting all of my burdens on your shoulders as well. It was never my intention. I just needed someone to be with me, but I guess I wasn't ready. It's time for your long-awaited sleep session. Go hibernate, my little teddy bear. You deserve it, buddy. You've been a great friend, and even more, you are my family. I love you, Popo. Goodbye. I slowly continued to stroll around my old bedroom, opening myself to as many memories as I could remember. There's just so many things wrapped in cold dust here. I feel responsible for not caring more for this place. Is it too late to rearrange things around here? I went closer to my old desk. There were 2 sheets of paper sitting on it. What are these? One of them seems to be a writing. Who's Mary? That's it, I remember it. I remember writing it back when I wasn't sure where to study further, and where my life was heading. Mary was also experimenting new things. Thinking about it now, it seems a bit far-fetched, but I wrote it at a time when I truly felt like I didn't have control over my life. I was just following set directions. Should I read it? Who's Mary? Who's Mary? We don't really know her. I mean, yeah, sometimes she comes around here and we talk about you. You know, weird stuff, as we like to call them. Though we're not really close. She's always wandering around. Sometimes it feels like she's not even here. There are random moments when she would start talking, and we do enjoy her speeches, but then she suddenly stops. Mary? Yeah, I do know her. She's this weirdo in my class. She always acts like she's above everyone else, but truly she's nothing. Just because she gets high grades doesn't mean she's more valuable. She gets easily anxious if someone comes and talks to her. She wants to act cocky, but she's truly just a coward. Once high school is over, we'll see who's more successful. Oh, Mary? Of course I know her. She's one of the best students here. She takes part in lots of activities and gets excellent results on almost everything. She has so much potential. She really is equipped to pursue any career she wishes to. She's a bit shy, but she'll get over it. All of us were when we were younger. Mary's a fake person. She acts like your friend, but immediately backstabs you once you don't give her attention. Everyone seems to talk to her, but I wouldn't dare. She sells all your secrets. She's a terrible person, but she'll eventually have to learn her lesson. Mary is an unstable individual. She's forced to do all sorts of stuff. She always cries and talks about how her life means nothing and keeps bringing this theory that reality doesn't exist. So on and so forth. She keeps making abstract drawings and paintings to express herself. and make us understand her, but she just needs help. A therapist of some sort. Not to sound mean, because she is indeed a nice friend, but I always have to be the therapist when talking to her. Mary is one of the only people who truly understands me. She always listens to me. Maybe she doesn't understand everything I tell her, but she's always trying to listen and coming up with ideas to help me. She's a friend you can really count on. She's always here to help me. The thing is, she's really close up. She barely talks about herself. I always want to help her too, because I know something's wrong somewhere inside of her, but she always denies it. I won't pressure her to talk though, but I just wish I could help her too. Jeez, Mary, that kid is so weird and annoying. She likes those cartoon shows and her music taste is just awful. She enjoys the weirdest shit ever when it comes to entertainment. She always claims she wants to become a famous artist, but seriously now, she has nothing to do with it. I hate Mary so much. She always has to be everywhere and everyone has to mention her name. Mary did that. Mary did this. Mary was there. Mary was here. Like, stop it already. I always have to hear how she perfectly scores every exam, how she always draws and does shit, how she's such a great student. Give me a break, and she's so full of herself, too. Ugh, Mary? Yeah, I once talked to her. She has nice looks. There was a time when we used to be together, though it wasn't something serious, but she just took it too far. She'd always bombard me with her insecurities, like, what will I do when you leave town? Why didn't you call me? It's really annoying. I started to avoid her, and she finally decided to move forward. At least, I hope so. Mary. Yes, Mary. Wow, this brings me so much nostalgia. I used to play with her when we were little, with dolls, dressing them up. I don't know why, but she really liked destroying their dresses and giving them handmade ones out of all sorts of materials. Anyway, I loved playing with her. Her parents were so sweet as well. I would like to see her again. It's been a few years since we last saw each other. Mary? Yeah, I know her. Her parents are friends with my parents. We get to see each other like twice a year. She's funny though. I laugh so hard when I'm with her. I would like to spend more time with her. We have plenty of things in common, but our age gap kind of parts us away. Mary is our precious daughter. We love her unconditionally and will never stop loving her, even if she kills someone. Nothing she would do will ever upset us. We're just worried because she's so closed up inside of her. She never tells us what upsets her. She always lies that everything is okay, but we know that deep down it's not okay. We know her better than anyone else. She's our daughter. We're worried because of the people she spends time with. They might have a bad influence on her, but we don't know. We try to monitor her around the town, but no one really knows. We try our best to protect her. Mary? Yeah, she's right there. She didn't really talk today. She's kind of ruining the mood. If you talk to her, can you somehow ask her politely to, I don't know, leave? Not to be rude, but I'm pretty sure she's not enjoying her time here, so it would be better for her and for us too. I used to know Mary, but only vaguely. I would see her in the mirror every now and then, but every time I would recognize her, I would get anxious. I was always afraid of accepting Mary and being her. She was my biggest fear, because alongside her would come other problems too. I was never able to get past this anxiety, so I started to deny her. Now Mary is Mary. Nothing more, nothing less, but that's all I know about her. She will never be fleshed out for me, not for others. She'll always remain a mystery, even for me. That's why I'm not going to stress myself thinking about her and who she is. I want to forget her, so don't ask me who Mary is. She used to be someone, but now I think it's better for her to be nothing. I'm sure that would make her much happier, and I know that would make me happier too. It's not the best feeling going back again through what I felt writing this. I was really pressured by outside perceptions, and I've let them dictate my life, just like now. It seems Mary started fading away even before the accident. I wish I could have helped her and give her guidance. Not that I'm in any way better, but it's just so painful to read this. She never got the chance to appreciate her own self. She was always seeking approval from others, and she was oblivious to her own potential. And it kills me to know she's gone forever. Unlike me, she was an authentic person, and those are the best kind of people. There's also another letter.
Dear Lorraine, I don't know how to begin this letter, but I do know that I wanted to reach you. Please, I want you to read it. Lorraine, you are the only one I have left. And I know you don't want to remember me. I wouldn't either. But I'm so lonely here. Everything keeps falling apart, and I've lost myself in the pain. And I don't understand why all of this is happening to me. I've done all I could. I've always tried for the best. Tried to please everyone. But now it's all gone in vain, and I don't know why. I've put so much effort in everything I did, and all of it was for you. But maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe it was just a lot for me, but not enough for you. I'm sorry if I've ruined everything. I truly didn't want you to live with this. But things just happened, and I wasn't able to control them. Everyone seems to leave me behind, and I don't condemn them. I've pushed them away because I was too ashamed of myself. I'm afraid of choosing my words because I don't want to disappoint you any further. I know you probably find me pathetic for my actions, for the way I sing, and for this whole letter. But it's all I have now. It's just so hard to tell if what I'm doing is right, because there's no one next to me, and I'm afraid. Maybe I am pathetic. I am miserable, and the fact I'm aware of it doesn't make it any better. The future might be brighter, but it's just so hard to imagine it given how I am right now. But I'm fighting. I'm fighting for you. I'm sorry, Lorraine. I truly am sorry. I know what I've done is awful. What you've been through is awful. And it's all my fault for being too scared. For being the horrible person I always am. And I continue to be selfish because I have one wish. You'll probably be disgusted by me, but I want you to remember me. I want you to remember that I've suffered in the end only for you to be able to make it. So when I do cross your mind, please don't mind writing me back from time to time about you, about your life, about the people who now care about you, about your dream job, about your new Vivian Westwood items, about all of your achievements and everything that makes you happy. Show me there's still hope for me, and maybe someday you'll forgive me too. Signed, Mary.
I'm sorry, Mary. Maybe my life right now is not how you wished for it to be. But even with the way it's been, I can't keep you in vain anymore. I should have given you an answer, but instead I've just left you trapped in an untrainable dream. I was selfish. My whole life was lived through selfishness. But now I see there was no reason for it. Life will keep beating you up, whether you're a kind or cold person, so why not go through it with a warm soul? You're gone now, Mary. Everything is gone for me too, so maybe that'll make you feel less lonely. But with you no longer being with me, your wish remains, and I'm still here. So if you don't mind me being late, I would like to write to you. I took Mary's letter and sat down at the vanity desk in the room. I grabbed a still working pen and flipped over the sheet of paper with Mary's words on it. I placed my wrist on the rusty wooden desk. I brought my eyes up, meeting my own in the dusty distance of the mirror. The image was dark and altered, and I couldn't see myself clearly in it. I tried searching for myself deeper within the mirror, but my gaze was darkened by the cracks and dust. I saw myself at the desk, but there was no sign of me. I couldn't see my true self. Eventually, I let down my eyes on the paper, and I slowly began to make small circled moves from my wrist, circling the pen in the shape of letters as I was contemplating my message.
Dear Mary, I know my letter is coming in lazily, perhaps too late, but after so much time of endlessly spinning in circles, I finally came down to the conclusion of what I have to do. I know I've done terrible things, and I don't need you to own up for them in my place. My past will still remain my own and no one else's. I know that all this time I only tried to distance you away from me, distance myself away from me. But now I know I can't do that. I have one life, and it's my job to live it however it would be. I know you've gone through a lot. I felt your tears because I was there with you, and I shouldn't have let you alone through all of it. After all, it is true. Everything you did was for my own sake. And that's why now I want to honor all of your suffering, all of my suffering, because it is part of who I am, and I can't be less than proud for seeking my way out of it. You represent a great portion of my life, and I have to cherish it because it was an experience worthy of learning from, and reliving it right now to show me just how oblivious I was to the strength within me. I was stupid for ditching it, and all of my life since the accident was just an act, a mask to reinforce myself and regain my confidence. I chose to block you out of my life because the burden of my suffering was too heavy to also carry on my life as well. I know I didn't turn out to be what you wanted me to. It may not be the best version of me, but it made me happy. Even with all the problems I have to face, I enjoy my new life, and I still find it worth living for. Life is not always how we imagine it, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't live it. I want you to be proud of me just like I am, because that's the truth. I'm happy with what I've managed to accomplish, but I couldn't accept my happiness knowing my past was still unresolved. And now that I've accepted my past, I want to ask you for permission to keep on living my life. I know who I am, and now I know who I was too. I want to live my life and show you that there is happiness, and also show you that you can be strong, because you're strong, Mary. You're the strongest person I've ever known. I'm sorry for everything, Mary. I'm the one who should be asking for forgiveness. I promise I'll never forget you again. So please take my hand and let's both flee this town and show the world who we are. I'm ready to be happy if you are ready to fight again. Signed, Mary Lorraine Shepherd.
My vision went dark again, and for a long while. Turns out I fainted and went unconscious. Back when I crashed my car on the way to my hometown, I suffered a shock, and having abstained from food for several days before did not help. Actually, I'm very lucky for waking up. My body was weak and drained. I went through inanition, and I needed time to recover and treat my body. Well, it's all over now. After 6 months since my last try, I finally got to see my parents. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'm so happy to finally be here. I'm sorry I had to cancel the visit again. I truly thought that after so many years, I finally had everything sorted out, that I'd finally be prepared. But it seemed I was still not prepared for this. But I'm here now, and I want to say that I love you more than I could ever describe. I've managed to finally understand it now. I finally know what's true and valuable. Now I know that I don't have to be here in order to be with you, because you two are always with me. You've been with me all along, and I was so terrified to open my eyes and realize this. Now I know you love me, and have always loved me. And I realized that your love was always there for me, but I just didn't see it. And I'm sorry for being a coward. I wish you two could be here right now, and that I could hug you tightly, and feel your body's warmth and your heart's racing. I'll keep making you proud of me. Okay, we're gonna go through and see, try to see if there's how much is different. Alright, so there wasn't really anything different in any of the endings, so I'm not quite sure what all the other options necessarily were for. In extras, we can see all the stuff about the lore. They kind of explain everything. We saw it in the first one, so as far as I can tell, nothing had also changed there either. But this was still a pretty interesting visual novel, a little bit different than anything I think we've ever done, so pretty cool. I'll see you guys on a later day.